My name is Zara Singh, and this is my honors chemistry project. I did the truth in labeling of vitamin C in orange juice. My hypothesis is that I believe that the food labels we see every day are false, and that the fresh squeezed orange juice will have more vitamin C than the commercially made orange juice. Some of the key materials I had were the vitamin C tablets, the soluble starch, the Lugol's iodine solution, 2%, and then 3 different brands of orange juice. One that was from concentrate, one that was not from concentrate, and one that was fresh squeezed. So the first thing I did was create an iodine solution, and I poured 30 milliliters of the Lugol solution into a 500 milliliter graduated cylinder, and then I added enough distilled water to bring the fluid to a total volume of 300 milliliters, and I mixed. The next thing I did was make the starch indicator solution, and I put 1 gram of the starch into 200 milliliters of water, which I then boiled in a pot and started to mix to make sure that all the starch was completely dissolved. And once that was done, I allowed it to cool, and that's it. After making the starch indicator solution, I squeezed 3 oranges to make freshly squeezed orange juice. Then I went ahead and crushed 250 milligrams of a vitamin C tablet and dissolved it in 100 milliliters of distilled water. Then I began to titrate the standard solution. I put 25 milliliters of the vitamin C standard solution into my flask, and then I added 10 drops of the starch indicator solution. And then I started to titrate the iodine, and it took on average about 25.8 milliliters of the iodine solution to change to a blue color. Then I began to test the different brands of orange juice. The first brand I decided to test was the From Frozen Concentrate, which is the Minute Maid orange juice. I went ahead and basically did the same thing as what I did with the standard solution, and I put 25 milliliters of the orange juice into a flask, and then I poured 10 drops of the starch indicator solution into my orange juice, and then the amount of iodine it took on average was about 14.8 milliliters. And then the amount of vitamin C I got from that was 11.5 milligrams. The next brand of orange juice I tested was the one not from concentrate, Simply Orange, and I went ahead and did the exact same thing as I did with the other brand. I poured 25 milliliters of the orange juice into a flask and put 10 drops of the starch indicator solution into the orange juice, and then started to titrate the iodine, and for that, on average, it took about 12 milliliters of iodine, and then the amount of vitamin C I got from that was 9.3 milligrams. And the last type of orange juice I did was the freshly squeezed that I made on my own, and I put 10 drops of the starch solution into the orange juice after putting 25 milliliters of the orange juice into a flask, and then I started to titrate the iodine, and on average it took about 13.8 milliliters of iodine, and the amount of vitamin C I got from that was 10.6 milligrams. So for this project, my conclusion is that my hypothesis was wrong. The amount of vitamin C was not the highest in the fresh squeezed orange juice. It was actually the highest in the Minute Maid orange juice, which is from frozen concentrate. The amount of vitamin C was 0.58 milligrams per milliliter. The freshly squeezed orange juice had the second highest amount of vitamin C, equal to 0.53 milligrams per milliliter. And finally, Simply Orange, not from concentrate, had the lowest amount of vitamin C, equal to 0.47. So it's important to note that the vitamin C is very sensitive to light, heat, and oxygen, and exposure to any of these factors will degrade the amount of vitamin C in oranges, which is why the frozen concentrate had the highest amount of vitamin C. This concentrate is basically frozen after it's produced, and then can be reconstituted any time of the year when the juice is ready to be bottled and sold. This process keeps the vitamin C levels close to the levels of the vitamin C when the oranges are first picked. So that's my project. Thank you for watching.